got a cool example here with pitch invasion. So the things that can mess with a one-turn attempt, obviously Blitz can mess with it because the opposition can bring in problematic players. Perfect defense, obviously, because it's all reliant on people being in the right place. And then pitch invasion can also cause a few problems, particularly in this case, because you move 10 sprint, what we call a natural one-turner, which have not become a thing in Blood Bowl 2020 because you can't have move 10 players anymore. But pitch invasion basically took out his move 10 natural one-turner because his plan here was just to get the ball, give it to this guy, who then runs down the pitch and does a few dodges and scores. But no natural one-turner and a tree man with obviously stand firm, causing a few problems in there as well. So let's see how the Skaven coach deals with it. So a little bit of thought required, I suspect, but then brings in the various players and picks up and hands over to the new scorer, who was not going to be the original one, who gets it. So obviously this one, this is the chappie who's going to be pushed. And let's think about how many pushes he needs. So that's 9 plus. So he doesn't have a sprint, and he hasn't got move 10. So two chain pushes needed from a seriously non-ideal situation. So he has to reorganize all his thoughts and all sorts of go for it's and things needed. So here we go. So that wasn't even the blitz. So there is the block to get into the right place. And here comes the blitz now. Comes around and pushes and needs the push, obviously. That's the first push. And then it's going to need to dodge out and then go for it into there to be the extra square. Pushes to there, pushes to there. And then now he's in the situation that he was in before, and he's running down there. So goes goes in that direction. Oh, and that's just a 2+ dodge. Fantastic. So because of the pitch invasion there, sorry, go back a little moment. Oh no, won't bother. So that was for the draw, but basically, so the pitch invasion meant that he could dodge in and then dodge out. Not even dodge in, walk in and dodge out from 2+. So even though plans went awry, he was still able to maneuver. This one is fairly standard-ish, but so yeah, so this one's fairly standard, but we have so we've got an Agility 5 leap actually. We've got Lord Borak, who doesn't take to the pitch much, and we've got a Minotaur, but luckily those are not the ones being pushed. And we've got a move 9 sidestepper, so not too difficult, but we'll see if anything untoward appears. So he went for the throw first to get the ball out, and he's going to hand off. This one's going to be doing the scoring. So catches there, no problem. And then hands off to the, and there's a steal as well because it's 12 catcher. So that's all sorted. Leaps in. He's got 2 assists in next. We've got a guard. So that's a straightforward one. And then pushes into there. It's got 3 dice because of all the assists. And then another push. So this then brings the extra assist in there. And then pushes to there. And then this one can just, so what happens there? So he gets rid of the Minotaur for some reason. So it does a 2 dice block on the Minotaur, which is actually completely unnecessary, I think. Because I was wondering whether the Minotaur had tentacles or something. But no, just a random 2 dice block on the Minotaur. I guess maybe trying to cause damage because it's still the first half. Dodge out, dodge out. And that one only needed 2 pushes. And then the 2 go for it. So not even any rerolls needed on that one. So this one is a bit of a break from the norm. All the others have been chain pushes, but this is a beautiful thing with a non-chain push. So what we have here is we have a kick into the end zone, and then the ogres roll a blitz, as you can see over there. And this is a wonderful thing. So what have we got here? So there's the blitz. We got a strong arm ogre, and we've just got a standard snotling who's prepared to be chucked down the pitch. So the snotling gets thrown on 2+ because of strong arm, decent scatter, fails the landing on a 1, but he's got the team reroll, so he succeeds with a 4. So no reroll for the go for it's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 go for it's needed to get into the end zone. Makes it there, The ball comes up, and oh no, that's really unsatisfying. But anyway, the ball lands on him, and he scores. But he didn't see the kickoff. So what would have happened if, when he was playing the game, was the ball would have sailed through slowly and would have landed on him, and then he had to roll a 6 to score. So that's one of those beautiful things: scatter into the end zone, throw teammate, and score. And that would have been on sort of turn 0 of the first half, before anything had happened. So fairly spectacular. In this example, we have Aina against F13, which is 2 Italians, I think, playing against each other, and we've got a lovely ready sort of timbre to the pitch, because we've got some very sunny and we've got some black box. What's making this one difficult is a load of tackle back here, so obviously against dwarfs, which makes it, this catch is going to be the one who's going for the score, but dodge won't help him because we've got all this tackle around. And the other thing that's going to make it difficult is sidestep, and stand firm. So that makes life a little tricky. So difficult one, but then we get quick snap, which tends to make life easier for the one turner. So he manages to, so he puts a few players up, but it's still going to be tricky because this is the player who's going to be getting all the pushing against him, but because of sidestep, he has to fill in all the squares to be able to push him to the correct place, which makes life challenging. So he surrounded him, which is good. And then he comes in for the blitz, and because there's no squares around him, he doesn't get to use sidestep. So push there, and he's still surrounded, but he does need to fill in all the squares again. So Ogre blocks away the blitzer, and then that means the lineman can fill in there. But then he needs to use this thrower to fill in the square. So the thrower can't go and get the ball, which may be a problem. Let's see if that is a problem. And then the block happens. And so the catcher is now in range because he's been pushed 3 times. So it's 8 + 2. But then the blitzer has to go and get the ball. And he makes it. No rerolls available. But he manages to throw. Was that a 6? That was a 6. So succeeded on a roll of 6+, managed the 6, and then caught. But now he's got 4+, 4+, 3+ dodge with no rerolls. Sorry, yeah, 4+, 4+, 3+. And 2 go for it as well. So all sorts of shenanigans going on. Actually, was he agility 4? Is that what's going on there? No, not agility. So agility 3. Yeah, 4+, 4+, 3+. Yeah, fantastic. And he made it. Obviously, he made it because all of these are ones where they make them. But yeah, that's a fantastic one with the sidestep dwarf being whacked and then a 6+ throw. So there's always some shenanigans going on with these videos, but that was certainly a fun one. For this example, we have the final of the first ever NAF tournament, which was the NAF World Cup warm-up. So the first ever NAF tournament on Fumbbl, and we have Pete W in the turn 16 against Gussies, Dark Elves against Dark Elves. So this is a sort of high pressure situation in which these one-turners, so 2 obviously very, very good coaches, and the high pressure one-turner. He's got a reroll there. And fairly sort of standard. So he's set up just 9 across the back. So you do sometimes see setups with a sort of group of players round here, but this one has just got the 9 across the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, say 9. I mean 7. 7 across the back just to make it so that he has to dodge through. We've got a move 7 blitzer there. So what's happening here? So just putting players in there, and then move, yep, 7 there. So there's the block, and then so he's needing 4 pushes, I think. So he's moved 7. So we've currently got so he's got the 3 pushes, but 7, 8, 9. That means he needs another push, which is going to come from this blitzer, hitting this blitzer into there. I think probably. Let's have a look. So brings in the extra piece in there, and then he's using, then this is a good one because he uses the ball carrier to be the extra person as well. So the ball carrier goes into there and fills the square as well as doing the handoff. So succeeds on the handoff, still no reroll used, and then the push. So this is like a 3-way chain push, which he makes, and then if we got dodge on there, So yeah, so there's dodge on the blitzer, and then this blitzer still hasn't gone, and so manages to remove the tackle zone. So just means that the 2+ dodge out isn't needed. And then he goes down the outside, no tackle on there. So he's got a 5+, 4+, and then go for a 1, use the reroll, and then 1 on the dodge, and then uses the dodge to score and to win the game because it's turn 16. So that's the sort of fantastic high pressure one turner that we definitely like. Here we have Strider and his Khemri. Tomb Kings was what they're called now, probably. And again, we got the end of the first half, Chaos Dwarf drive, and they scored in their turn 8. So Khemri are trying to score back. And what we have here is we have a move 7 throw ra, obviously. So a move 7 and agility 3, but still needing 3 pushes and still needing to pick up the wall. Oh, he's got agility 3 pickup as well. So make it. It's not real Khemri because I got 2 agility 3 players, but it's still a move 7, so he's still needing 4 pushes. And we've got here. We've got a load of guard, makes things a little tricky, but you've got your move 5. Sorry, you've got the strength 5 players, so not a major issue. So blitz first. So what was the? Yeah, it was just weather change, so nothing interesting there. However, got a both down and skull, and then got a skull and a pow. So that's not ideal because obviously you want a load of pushes when you're trying to score a one turner. So he has to come up with a new plan now, and the blitz is gone. So instead of being able to do that, he now needs to fill in all these gaps and then push the Chaos Dwarf into this one and then into that one. So it's making life just a little bit harder, remembering that he needs 4 pushes in order to get the throw ra in range. So that's 1, 2 so far. There's the third one. And then the fourth one is going to come from this Tomb Guardian, blocking this Chaos Dwarf into there. But then you'll notice there's a spare square here, which is slightly problematic. So this skeleton is going to have to... No, that skeleton. This skeleton's going to come around. And then it's going to be a pass action. It's agility 3, so 3s and 3s. She succeeds in. And then looking for power is fine. And now he's in range because he's got the 4 pushes. And so the difficulties there, and he used the reroll. I can't remember when he used the reroll. Oh yeah, he used the reroll right at the beginning to try and turn a both down into a push, but he turned it into a power instead. So yeah, touchdown there, and shows that even if something goes wrong at the beginning, as we saw with the Skaven one, you don't give up because it's always possible. Not always possible, often possible. Here we have a Fumbbl Cup game, which is why the lovely I think it's a Fumbbl Cup game, which is why the amazing pitch is on there. So we've got, this is turn 16, it is 2-all, and the Lizards are trying to score in order to win the game. We got a reroll, which is a bonus, so he was on 0 rerolls, but he got the reroll back, which is always fantastic when you're trying for the 1-turn score. What difficulties have we got here? We've got a sidestepper, we've got another sidestepper, we've got a rookie back there, but certainly the sidesteppers are making it tricky. But we do have an agility 5 skink with sprint and sure feet, and sidestep. So in fact, so 8 plus 3 is 11. So needing 2 pushes to take it to the 13 for the score. So he's re-rolled straight away because he rolled a power, which is no good. And so instead of hitting the sidestepper, he's hitting the rookie who was 1 square back here. And we've got Frenzy, so he's going to use the Frenzy. I've been caught out by this before. So if you're facing against Frenzy, you should definitely not put people 2 squares back, because then they can use them against you. So what's going to happen here is he's going to push him into there and then frenzy him into him. Because he's got sidestep, we can actually use that to push the skink forward. I assume that's what's going to happen. So he gets the push back again, and he manages to sidestep there. And now this one can be used again to get the second push. So a power would have been fine there, and he sidesteps forward, and he's actually going to hit him again so that he doesn't need to go for it the extra time. And he's down, and then he's just taking this player. That was a push. And who's going to be blocking now? So that was an interesting one, actually. So he pushed this fella, I assume, to get rid of the interception, but actually it made it more difficult because now he's got 2 tackle zones on the skink. And coming forward and going for a throw with the skink, which is always tricky, but he's got the catch, and now he's got agility 5, so it's 2 pluses all the way, and he makes it. So agility 5, not even dodging down there because he didn't, because he put this guy in the wrong place. So only 1 go for it needed, and he scores. So that was good Fumbbl. With this one, we are definitely leaving the best till last. Here we have Goblins against Nurgle, and here we have a Fanatic, a move 5 Fanatic. And this is going to be spectacular. You may have seen a GIF of this one before, but I make no apologies for returning to it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Goblins on the pitch, and this little fella here is the one who's going to be scoring. He's got catch, and he's got sure feet, and so sure feet allowing a reroll on go for it, so obviously catch a reroll on the catch. So the kickoff happens there, and he first of all he passes the ball, which is hard with Goblins anyway, so he manages to pass it, and then he makes the handoff. Have we got any disturbing presence in this? We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 2 disturbing presences, so and a tackle zone, so that's a 6+ to catch, which he succeeds with catch. And here comes the Fanatic. This is going to be glorious. So first up, he randomly moves to there, which is not very helpful, and then moves downwards and randomly moves into the target. Takes the pushback and has got grab, which means that he can push him in the correct direction, doesn't have to push him backwards. So it's still a block action, so you can use grab with a Fanatic because you're not blitzing, even though you're moving and hitting, you're still not blocking. So he hits him again and pushes him, and then he manages to hit him again. What's we got move? We've got move. Is that move 5 Fanatic? Yeah. And then he hits him again, and so he's got the required. He's got a few of the required pushes, and then he is going for it, and then hits him again, and then he just needs to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 go for it to score. So using a Fanatic. Let's just double check what the move of the Fanatic was. So that was a move 5 Fanatic. 4 of the hits pushed the Goblin to the correct direction. The Goblin caught the ball on a 6 with 2 disturbing presences and a tackle zone. And there was a pass and there was a handoff, and that was the most crazy one-turner with chain pushing that you will, I suspect, ever see.